Hey there, this is Marlon from marlonmatmedia.com, and in this video I'll be showcasing to you some really slick plugins that are geared towards noise removal or audio repair. They do a bunch of different things, and they're from a company called Accusonus. I've been trying them out for the last couple of days. They haven't sponsored this video, but they did reach out to me and say, do you want to try these out? And I only share things with you if I think they're worth your time. So what I'm going to do is over the next few weeks or so, I'll be doing some videos which will feature some of these apps. And in this particular video, I want to showcase to you specifically the noise removal app or the noise removal plugin. These are AU-VSD plugins which you can use them with your DAW. You can use them in your video production suite if you're using, let's say, Premiere Pro, or you're using Final Cut Pro, or any other type of video editing software that can actually take plugins. You'll be able to use these as well, which is really great. At the moment, well, I have been using Free by a company called Clefgrand, and I've only got the iPad app, which is great. It's on my iPad Pro, and I do a lot of my audio processing on that for dialogue audio for videos and for podcasts and things like that. But I wanted to have something on my MacBook and on my desktop as well, and I was contemplating whether or not to get the full version, well, the other version of Free, another copy of it for the desktop. But this is what I will be using Era 4 from Accusonus going forward, specifically their noise removal, which is very important to me, because let's say you're using a cheap mic, or you're recording in an environment which is not treated, and you have like a bunch of background noise. It can't work magic, but it will do a pretty good job at removing or reducing significantly the background noise without adding too much artifacting in there. And that's the crucial bit, because a lot of the other options, such as in Audacity, which is a free option, they reduce the quality, it degrades the quality of the audio, and you have artifacting going on. You can hear it a lot more pronounced. This is a lot cleaner, just like Free is. And I've got a recording here that I've downloaded from the internet. Just because it has a bunch of background noise in there, I'll just play it without the processing so you can hear what that sounds like.
Okay, here's the deal. When you are the #1...
So you can hear from that dead section where there's no audio, the dead air section, that there's a bunch of noise going on there. And what I'm going to do now is essentially just play it back and switch on the effects. First of all, let me just bring up the effects window here so you can see what's going on. So I'm going to start with using this noise remover here. It's just got one button, one knob that you can turn up or down to actually reduce the noise to your liking. So here we go.
Okay, here's the deal. When you are
straight away you can hear the difference, and the audio quality is still being retained. I'm going to toggle it on and off so you can hear what's going on.
Okay, here's the deal. When you are the #1 producer of the #1 inkset for one of the #1 printers, I guess, especially if you have this idiot.
All right, so there you go. I'm going to turn the knob here all the way to 0, and then gradually process it by turning it up, and so you can hear how much of a difference it makes.
Okay, here's the deal. When you are the #1 producer of the #1 inkset for one of the #1 printers, I guess.
So as you can hear, even at 100%, it actually retains the quality of the actual dialogue, the vocals. I'm sure it's taken away something, but it's not very obvious, unlike those other options that I mentioned earlier. There are some other toggles here, some things here like, I guess these are EQ curves. So this would be a high cut to low pass, and the opposite, such as a low cut here. And you have some other mid and frequency type of processing going on. I don't really see where these make too much of a difference. So I just leave it on just a flat EQ there. I did turn this tonal buzz like static noise thing on. I'm not sure if it actually makes too much of a difference either, but it's there nonetheless if you wanted to use it. There's a gain or output gain here that you can turn it up or down. I don't really see the need for that either. I don't really have a compelling need to use it. You can have two sets of processing going on and can A/B them to see which one sounds better by using that toggle there, that switch there as well. And that's really all you need to do. So it's really simple to use, and well, as you can see, it's just one knob to turn really as the primary thing. On the flip side though, if you want some more fine-tuned controls and stuff like that, if you're somebody that wants to go really like deep and have full control over things, this might not be the option for you. But I know that a lot of people now are looking for simplicity. I am looking for simplicity when it comes onto processing things, and if this does the job, it does the job. So I don't really need to have a bunch of different controls going on. The other thing that I want to mention in here is they also have a voice leveler, which is somewhat of a compressor, and what that does is it evens out as much as possible the sounds. So if you have a really low section and a high section, it brings down the high peaks and brings up the lower section, so it gives you more of a balanced consistent sound. I find that there's a little problem with this though when I use it. It says you need to use it after the noise reduction or noise removal processing is done in the chain there, which is how I've got it here, and you can see that message telling you what to do. Well, I find that it does reintroduce some artifacting when you do playback, when you do hear the audio back. So listen. Actually, I had it off there. So I'm going to go ahead and play this back. I'm going to go ahead and just play this back now, and you'll hear where it introduces some artifacting.
Okay.
So you can hear that there at the start.
Okay.
That sounds really bad, actually. For the most part, though, it does work. It does level out your audio.
Here's the deal. When you are the #1 producer of the #1 inkset for one of the #1 printers, I guess, especially if you have this idiot promoting that product so much, I guess you're going to get a lot.
So it's really obvious in the quiet parts. You can hear that artifacting.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal.
That artifacting going on. Let me just go back to the start again. There you go. I probably won't be using this as much and just stick with using a standard compressor. I'm in Reaper at the minute because I'm experimenting with Reaper, and this is their compressor here. So if I apply that, I can actually get a cleaner processing going on as far as compression to level out the audio and make it sound more consistent.
Okay, here's the deal. When you are the #1 producer of the #1 inkset for one of the #1 printers, I guess, especially if you have this idiot.
So that sounds a lot cleaner, and it does the same job. Obviously, it has a few more controls. It's not just one knob, but you know, you can get the hang of using a compressor once you learn the basics of it. I'll do another video which focuses on how you can apply compression, or you can just look up, there's lots of videos online that talks about how you can use a compressor. They all have pretty much the same basic functionality, but again, if you're looking for simplicity, then you might want to use the voice leveler from Accusonus here. Now these apps, they come as a bundle. These plugins, they sell them individually, I believe, and the price is significantly cheaper if you buy them as the bundle. So I would recommend that you go ahead and check the link in the description. I'll leave a link to it so you can grab hold of the full bundle. So I'll just bring up the, it's called Era 4. I'll just bring it up on their site here. And what you'll see is that they have a couple of different options here. I'll go with the standard one. I believe that's what I have access to at the moment. And you can straight away either purchase or you can get a free trial and see how it works out for you. They do have it compatible with pretty much any DAW or any sort of video production software that operates with plugins or have access to plugins, and as you can see, they have noise remover, the reverb remover. So if you have a lot of echo or reverb in your recording, you can have that removed as well or reduced. The DSR, which gets rid of the sibilances from S's, and you have plosives. If you're using a mic that you don't have a pop filter or a shield on it, it can have a lot of popping going on. And it has something called a declipper as well. So if you actually have a slightly clipped audio, meaning that you've gone into the distortion range, then you can try and claw back some of that and make it sound a bit better than all distorted. Now these, again, they're not like magic pills. You have to still record in an environment which is conducive for recording. So one that's quiet and have your levels set right before you start recording. But in a pinch, you can use these. I think it's really important to remove a lot of these background noises if you are recording for music, or you're recording for voiceovers or podcasts, or just doing videos. Anyway, I hope this has been useful. Leave me a comment in the description if you have any questions, and if you want me to test anything out on these, and I'll see if I can include them in a future video, and I'll answer you where possibly inside the comments as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.